Hi, my name is Chris, and I want to welcome you to my channel today. Today I'm joining Moira and several other ladies who I'll have linked in the description box below for a fun new series that Moira came up with. If you watch her Freeze Fridays, this was something that she decided to do after the holidays. So on the 25th of every month, we're going to do a Christmas project, and it can be anything from making a Christmas cards, doing a Christmas layout, a gift, whatever it is that you need to do. We find that when we get towards the November, December part, you have good intentions, but you're running out of time. So if we go and we take one day a month to do something Christmassy, you'll find that when the holidays come, you'll be ready. So today what I'm bringing you is a very, very simple card that will use up scraps in your stash and also some of those buttons that have been laying around. I'm on a spending freeze, so I'm trying to keep my costs effective and use what I have and not go out and buy more. And I haven't been giving out Christmas cards, and so I would like to be able to give cards to my coworkers and also to some of my family. And so by doing this, I'll have a bunch of cards ready for when December rolls around. So today what I'm using is just the sentiment from the Snow and Cocoa stamp set, and it just says Merry Christmas. And then I just have some black ink that I'm going to use to stamp. Now this card I got right off of Pinterest. It's one that I've seen before and I've thought is very simple, very clean, and very easy to do, and anybody can do this card. So I have just a card blank. I get these scrapbooking cards today kits, and within the kits they usually give you a few card blanks, and I have a bunch of them. So I'm going to go ahead and use those today. If you don't have a card blank, all you have to do is cut an 8.5 by 11 paper in half. So you'll have your 8.5, and then it will be 5.5 going across, folded in half. So the first one I'm going to show you is the simple one, and this was exactly what it was on Pinterest. So basically you're going to go ahead and fold your card in half. You're going to get your sentiment, and it can be anything you want. Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever holiday sentiment that you want on there. You're going to ink it up, and we're just going to ink it in the bottom corner. And this is exactly how they had it on the Pinterest card. So I just have Merry Christmas on the bottom. I'm just going to put these to the side. And now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go into your stash of buttons. This is only a small portion of the buttons that I have. I have another two huge jars, like mason jar or big like candy jars, full of buttons. We'll never use them in ever, all of them. But some of them, I don't know if, like my mother-in-law would, when she'd get ready to get rid of a piece of clothing, would cut the buttons off. So some of these are older buttons, and they just throw them in the jar. So if you're going to throw something out, snip the buttons off. They're great for embellishing. So I went through the jars and I grabbed out just the pink, the green, the blue, and the red. And we're just going to put one of each on here. So you're just going to grab whatever. They don't have to be the same size. They don't have to be the same color. You can do however you want it and whatever looks pleasing to your eyes. So I just kind of arrange them so I vary the size, and then we'll throw a blue one on. So I'm going to do the multicolored. So I have the red, the green, the yellow, the pink, and the blue. And now I'm just going to go ahead and take my ultra thin glue dots. I think you can get these like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, any of those kind of places, and just glue, any kind of glue dot will work. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down. Now I'm using the thinner glue dots. Where did my... I'll just go ahead and use these little ones. Oh, here's the ones. I went and put the ones down, and now I got them mixed up. So these are just a smaller thin one. You probably can't see them, but they're just a little bit smaller than the buttons. Place it on, and then it picks the glue dot up, and place it down on your card. yellow. And I'm just staggering like they were draping across my card. If you're more linear, you could go straight across if that's what's pleasing to your eye. There's no rules to how you make the card. And there's the last one. Okay, so now that I have those all glued down, you're just going to take a black pen. Now, I'm using the Pilot G2. You can use your Sharpie, whatever kind of a black pen, but try and find one that writes a little bit thinner. And you're just going to draw a line from the button to the edge of the card. And on top of the button, just make a couple loops like you tied the buttons on. And now you have your card. And then if you have more sentiments, you can stamp something in the center. You could go and stamp like here they've got the deer head or something. You could stamp that in the center and decorate the inside of the card if you want, or just leave it plain and write your message to your family or friend. But there, in a matter of a minute, you have a cute little card that uses up scraps that you have in your room and buttons that have been hanging around for a long time. Now you can also vary this up. So I made a few cards off camera. And where did I put them? Okay. So this one here, sorry, these are kind of sticking up. So this one here is using, again, the white card as the base, buttons on it, stamping the image. But what I did was I cut this piece of black, and this is at 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then the card, the white card, is 5 1/4 by 8, and then you make the fold. So the card is on the black matting, and it just gives it another pop if you like the black. So here, like this. Hopefully you can see. The next one I did was another matted one. So here I did the card base is your 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half. The red mat is 5 1/4 by 4, and that's mounted to the black. And then you have a 5 inch by 3 3/4 white mat. And then I also put a 5 1/4 by 4 inch mat on the inside that, again, you could stamp a sentiment, an image, or whatever, or just leave it for writing on the inside. And if you didn't want to do that, you could use like a silver or white pen to write. And then here you've just got the same sentiment on the front, matted on red, and I just went with just the red and the green buttons instead of going the multicolor, if you prefer the more traditional colors on your card. And then the last one I did, this was just using all one color of buttons. Again, I did it on the 5.5 by 8.5 card, which is folded in half. And then I did the white mat in 5 1/4 by 4. And again, you could use the silver pen. You could put another piece of paper in here. You could even go with a green piece of paper to accent with what you have, the buttons. And that's it. So in under an hour, I was able to make 4 cards and use up a bunch of buttons that were in my stash. So I suggest that you join in and see if you can start making some of your Christmas cards now before the end of the year. If you go into the links down below, again, we will have the link for Moira and everyone else who is following along for this month. It's the Christmas in January. And again, we'll be doing this on the 25th of every month, bringing you another Christmas inspiration that hopefully if you play along, we won't be scrambling at the end of the year like we normally do. If you like what you saw today, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell button to be notified when new videos are coming up. And again, check out the video links so that you can get more inspiration on how to use up your scraps and your stash. And let's ring in 2020 using up all of our supplies. Have a Merry Christmas in January. Thank you for watching.